Okay, y'all. Again, here we are, closing general session. And look, let me be honest. I don't know what it is, but even though I haven't shaken one hand or given one hug, I kind of feel sad saying closing session. Know what it is? But it's all good. It's all good because we are going to end this thing on a high note. Now, look, it's not going to be like when the bartender makes the announcement for last call, or not like when the DJ puts on a slow jam to send you home from the party. No, no, no. We're going to end this thing today in style. We're going to end it like a LeBron James 34-foot three-pointer to win the game and make it to the playoffs after he got poked in the eye by Draymond Green style type of way. All right, and we're going to end it with human potential expert, leadership speaker, and author, Mr. Adam White himself. And look, Adam has a self-confessed obsession with identifying, analyzing, and solving problems for both leaders and organizations. And as you'll see in just a few seconds, he is perfect for a time like this. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring to the screen Mr. Adam White.
Wow, that is fantastic. I had to double check, Anthony, to make sure it wasn't me that you're talking about. Thank you, man. You are a true master, truly a master of ceremony. So thank you. By the way, I like your backdrop. That's really, really fantastic. I want to thank Renee for having me to come on board again and present it. As I told Renee and Chris and all that, it's like family when I get a chance to come and speak to Florida. It's my second home. So again, I want to thank Renee, who is just outstanding. She is amazing, looking so lovely today in her pearls and blouse and all. So I want to thank all of you. I'm not going to waste time. If you know me, if you heard me, you'll know I'm not about myself. I don't tell jokes and stories. I get right into training. And I just want to say a couple things before I start. Number one, I want to make sure that your volume on your side is all the way up, so that when I conduct this training video that I'm going to play, I want to make sure you maximize the impact and the sound. So if you would, while I'm talking in these seconds, make sure that your volume on your side is all the way up. On my side, I'm up as high as I can go. So I want to make sure, you can hear everything. You're good on there. Number two, I want to say, I know that it's been a busy day. You've been zoomed out and just, we've been zoomed over the country. I've been in so many Zoom sessions, and it gets tiring sometimes. So I thank Anthony for bringing some fire right to the session. What I want to say is, if you can just bring your mind in for this since it's the last one, why not give it your all? Why not focus in and dedicate yourself to these moments and get the maximum learning out of it? And I want to share something with you. If you will focus in, if you will not get distracted, if you will stay with me for 53 minutes in this video of powerful training, I promise you two things are going to happen. Number one, there will be a transference of power in this time and season. Number two, there will also be an impartation of wisdom. So I don't want you to miss this session and see it as, let me just blow by, watch the videos. This is great. I'm ready to get out of here. If you can get your attention and focus, I promise you, open your heart, open the ground of your heart and your mind. I promise you that there will be, again, a transfer of power coming through this video and literally through the screen. And there will also be an impartation of wisdom that's going to happen for you. You better take those two things and carry them long after this session is over. And that's what I'm all about. So in this session, I'm going to share my screen and jump right in and get started. In this session, we're closing it with power, and it is the power of resilience. So we're going to go through. The video runs for about 53 minutes. And when it's done, I'm going to be right here. By the way, if you want to hit your chat, I'm going to set up my chat window now so I can see your chats down to the left. I'm going to also open up for my video. I'm going to restore the video. If you just give me a second to show the video panel so I can see your lovely faces if you chime in. So I've got you on chat. So again, I want you to focus in. I don't mind though if you want to send a little message. If something resonates with you in the video, you can send me a little quick note and I'll try to reply while the video is going. But I'm sitting right here with you. I'm not going to turn off my screen and go play golf. I'm right here and I'm going through this because listen, I learn twice. I learn when I teach and I learn when I learn again and I watch it. So I'm right here with you to participate. So please chime in. Afterwards, I'll be here. If Renee has time, we can have a few minutes to discuss what we've learned or questions we propose, or we can go right into the next area. So again, I thank all of you. I'm wishing you all the best in this season. Let us dive right in. If your volume is all the way up, talking about the power of resilience.
Hey there, this is Adam White, founder of Adam White Speaks, Adam White University, and Adam Empowers. And I'm so delighted you can join me in this training session. Now, you may be watching this as part of an organization or a Zoom conference or virtual conference or for your organization or association, or you could be watching this as a monthly member. And if you're not a member, by the way, I highly recommend you subscribe so you can get more trainings like this on a monthly basis. But I'm so delighted for you to join me and be in my community. I want to dive right in. In this session, we're going to be talking about the DNA of resilience. Oh my God, such a powerful subject. So many organizations are coming to me asking me to teach on resilience, especially in this crisis time we are in this generation and in this world. So let's dive right in. I want to waste a minute. I got a lot of great content. I want to make sure I can get through it all. Let's talk about the DNA of resilience. What makes people resilient? You're going to find out in this session. Crisis 2020, COVID-19. This is an unprecedented time in our history. With the spread of the coronavirus, people are struggling to find peace from the worry and the stress of this global pandemic. You know, we're all dealing with this. It has disrupted our life, our work, and everything that we're doing. And on top and on the back of COVID-19, we're still struggling to get through COVID-19. We're now dealing with the explosion of racial tension and civil unrest. Racial tension and civil unrest has exploded in a way that we've never experienced in the history of our world. All 52 states protested in support of Black Lives Matter movement. 18 countries have raised their hand across the world and said, we see you and we support you in this Black Lives Matter movement. So this is not just an American problem. This is a global problem of racial tension and civil unrest. And these are the challenges that we are facing as leaders, as professionals, as employees, and even as individuals, and even in our private homes and our families. So we have to be able to find out how to become more resilient. And it creates pressure. More than ever, our lives are under pressure. Our families are under pressure. Our schools are under pressure. Our organizations are under pressure. Our leaders are under pressure. We are at the point of breaking. But watch this, power. Other people are snapping back. They're seeing opportunities where there's crisis. They're taking advantage of a layoff to chart a new career or more. They are turning pressure into power. That's what I want for you, my friend. In this session, I'm going to teach you how to turn this pressure into power in your life. So what separates those who sail over what others sink in? Others are drowning in things that others, while other boats are sinking, other boats of life are sinking, the other sailboats are flying and floating right over. What allows one person to bounce back while another one breaks? What will carry us through this tough time of challenge, change, and crisis? The answer, my friend, is resilience. Now, let me define resilience for you in a simple schematic that you can understand. The first thing that resiliency means to manage, the ability to manage life's challenges, the stresses, the changes, and the pressures effectively. So not just manage. Some people are trying to manage it and jumping off a bridge after you try to manage is not managing effectively. The key is to manage pressure and stress and change effectively. Resiliency means to adapt. Things could be going all different type of ways, but it's the ability to adapt and cope successfully with adversity. So powerful. The next one, it means to respond. The ability to respond in a methodical, logical, and effective way. So you can't just sit back and act like it doesn't exist. You have to develop an ability to respond in the right way. It has to be methodical. You have a method. It makes logical sense, and it's effective. All right. The fourth thing resiliency means, it means to bounce back. My favorite definition. Bounce back to a balanced state after facing a major disruption in your life or career. So resilient means, listen, my friend, you have to develop the ability to bounce back. Now, let me give you the process of resilience. The first area is you must adapt. Number two, you must respond. Number three, you must bounce back. Those are the three. Now, in between adapt and respond, the first thing that happens is you're going to run into fight or flight. You've heard of it before. If you've studied philosophy, or you studied psychology, you've studied animals, you'll understand at the moment that you run into crisis, you are either going to fight, you're going to stand up and fight back, or you're going to run. So my friend, you have to face a crisis, and you have to quickly begin to adapt. The next thing that happens is you go through a flow. You have to flow with the changes that are happening. That's part of adaptation. Next is to embrace and adjust. So once you begin to flow with the change, now I have to embrace what's going on. I have to start making adjustments in my life to accommodate it. Next is to create and to improvise. I've now adjusted and embracing. So now I have to create. I've got to create some new ideas. I've got to create some new solutions, and I have to improvise. Next is I have to begin to derive meaning. What does this change mean to me? What does this circumstance mean? So important. Next is I have to create a method, a mindset, and a focus. Those are so important. Now, in the bounce back phase, we start moving into perspective and outlook. We start changing our perspective about things and say, if I'm going to bounce back from this, I've got to start focusing on where the future is going to be. That's the outlook. The next one is I have to develop a new strength, a new skill, a new ability if I'm going to bounce back from this. The next one is new ideas begin to emerge. Crisis just means it is pressed and put a potential on my demand. It demands me to come up with some new ideas. So powerful and bouncing back. And then it creates opportunity. It is an opportunity to do something I've never done before. That is how I bounce back from a crisis. Let me talk to you about J.K. Rowling. She lost her mother to multiple sclerosis and describes the loss as the most traumatizing moment of her life. She had a miscarriage of her first child. So it wasn't enough that she lost her mom, the first baby that she had in the miscarriage. It never came to full term. Her marriage only lasted for 13 months, if you can imagine, just barely over a year, and she was divorced. She became jobless, a single parent, and she became poor. In 2008, Harvard commencement speech, she said, "I was the biggest failure that I ever knew." The loss of her mother, divorce, and joblessness and poverty led to severe depression. She moved into a state of depression. She received loads of rejections from book publishers for her Harry Potter book. So everybody wasn't on board. The publishers looked at her book and said, this is no good. We don't want it in our publishing company. We don't want to publish the book. So they rejected. And loads could mean any. They never said a number. It could have been dozens. It could have been hundreds of rejections. Who knows? She never gave up on her dream to write books, and she finally became a published author. Her series of 7 books has sold more than 450 million copies across the world, won innumerable awards, has been made into movies, and has transformed Rowling's life. She is estimated to be worth more than $1 billion and one of the richest women in the world. That is a person that is resilient. She took failure. She took divorce. She took the loss of a child. She took stress. She took poverty, and she never gave up on her dream. She turned it all. She bounced back from failure, and now she has become one of the richest women in the world, selling more than 450 million copies of her book, the Harry Potter series. Now that's resilience. Let's talk about the 3 defining characteristics of resilient people. So important. The first defining characteristic of a resilient person is to accept reality. The next one is you have to learn how to improvise. And the third one is to find meaning. Those are the 3 pillars and defining characteristics of a resilient person. Now, between the accepting reality and the meaning, you have to have acceptance versus denial. I accept what's going on. I'm not going to hide from. I'm not going to deny that it's not going on. I have to accept it. The second thing is I have to make do. I have to make do with what I have left. I can't just say, oh, I'm giving up and it's over. No, I've got to make do and become resourceful with the things that I have. And I have to leave the script now. Everything's been going along as normal. I've been following the same pattern. I've been saying the same things. I've been making the same phone calls. I've been taking the same actions. Now I have to leave the script of life. I've got to become creative. That deals with improvising. The next area is I have to solve, create, and I got to come up with ideas, and I have to innovate. So when I move from a part of the improvising and start, before I get into finding even more meaning, is I've got to solve what's in front of me. I've got to create some new problems, some new ideas, and some new solutions to problems. I have to innovate and engineer a solution. Sometimes it has to come out of thin air. That's my ability to improvise. And finally, I have to develop meaning and purpose, which emerges out of problems. Why has this happened? What meaning do I need to assign? These are the pillars, my friend. If you develop these characteristics, you will become a resilient person. Now, let me give you 7 traits of resilient people. All right. This is a continuous interconnected chain of traits. So the way I want you to see these traits is not I'll develop one or I'll develop three. The key is that as you develop all of these, it molds you into becoming a resilient person. The first one is reacts in an optimistic way. This is a trait that you have if you're resilient. You don't look at things as pessimistic, as negative, the glass half empty. You look at things in a very optimistic way. Your outcome says this is going to work out in my favor. Number two, you think of change as a natural flow and you go with it. This is natural. Change is always happening around me and to me. I'm not going to just ignore it. I have to face what's going on. So now I think of change as a natural flow of life and I embrace it. The third thing is you have to thrive under challenging conditions, my friend. This is one of my favorite. You know what? When I'm often getting ready to record videos, sometimes I'm up against the gun. I'm waiting till the last minute. And anybody who knows me knows this about me. I work better under pressure. When I have a deadline to meet, man, it pulls something out of me. It causes me to step up to the plate and get the job done. My friend, you have to be resilient, and you will develop this trait. Number three, you will thrive under challenging conditions. Powerful. Here's number four. You believe that you can influence your reaction. You don't have to allow someone else to control how you react to things, but you have the ability to influence how you react, which means how you respond when things go wrong, when crisis comes. Number five, you recognize that change comes with growth. So powerful. Look, how can you grow if you don't change? To get from this level to this level over here, what do you think you have to do? You have to grow into the next level. You have to grow into the next position. You have to grow into the next phase of life. So you have to develop this trait of resilience. You recognize that with change comes growth. So powerful. Number six, you have to see problems as challenges. Don't see a problem as something I can't solve. No, this is presented a challenge for me. I call it walking towards danger. Don't run from a problem. Walk towards the problem and figure out how to solve it. Here's number seven. You take positive action. You don't do things negatively. You don't start putting yourself down or taking negative action or drinking too much alcohol. You take a realistic approach and you take a positive action towards a solution. Here are the 7 traits of resilient people. So powerful. Let's talk about optimists versus pessimists. Let's talk about the glass. Some people see the glass as half full, while others see it as half empty. The first group of people are called optimists, the ones who see the glass as half full. And the second group who see it as half empty are called pessimists. Optimists, regardless of transitions, setbacks, or disappointments, this person looks at the bright side and sees the possibilities. So powerful. Optimists expect good things to happen. They expect to be able to solve problems efficiently and plan to accomplish their goals. Man, that's powerful. That is so positive. Optimists go through life with positive outlooks and maintain a positive worldview. They're not talking about, oh, look what the government has done to me. Am I going to get my stimulus check? No, they have a positive worldview and a positive outlook. Now, here's the pessimist. Pessimists think negatively and cynically about circumstances, about change and about the world. So they're cynical. They can criticize things. This ain't gonna never work. I don't know why you're trying that. You shouldn't even put forth the effort. It's a waste of time. They're cynical and they're full of negativity. They expect that things will go wrong and they see all the obstacles instead of the opportunities. Everything is a problem. Everything is a roadblock. Everything is a challenge. That's a pessimistic person. My friend, are you optimistic or are you pessimistic? Let's explore the contrast of language. I think it's so important, the language we use. And I'm telling you, you can understand a person by the language. Pay attention to what people say. Listen with your inner ear to understand, and it will give you an insight if they're optimistic or pessimistic. So let's look at the language and thought between the optimist and the pessimist. A pessimist says, if something can go wrong, guess what? It will. The optimist says, I expect things to go my way. Pessimist says, nothing good ever happens to me. It's always going wrong. The optimist says, something great is going to happen to me today. The pessimist says, my problems seem to never end. You ever run into somebody always got a problem? Their cat died. The check didn't cash. They got a problem. The grass is not, I couldn't cut the grass right. They've always got a problem. That's a pessimistic person. An optimist says, every problem births more purpose out of me. Man, I love it. A pessimist says, I have no control over what happens. I don't know what's going to happen. An optimist says, I am responsible for the outcome of my life and my results. A pessimist says, I'm waiting for happiness to find me. I hope it finds me. But an optimist says, I am responsible for my own attitude and for my own happiness. Here's two groups, researchers, Danner, Snowden, and Friesen, from the University of Kentucky sampled nuns in their 20s and then again when they were in their 80s and 90s. So two groups of nuns were sampled when they were in their 20s. Now watch this. The group of negative nuns, the negative pessimistic nuns, lived a shorter time than their positive counterparts. More than 60% of the negative nuns had died before the age of 80. Listen to this. When data and studies was done on their brains that found their negativity and a negative outlook was a factor to their death. So they studied their brain, they scanned the brain and looked at what caused this death to come sooner for these nuns. It was a result of their negative outlook and their negative attitude. Now watch what happened with the group of positive nuns. The positive nuns on average lived longer than the negative nuns. They had positive outlooks and a positive psychology. The lesson in resilience and a positive mindset has been scientifically proven to help us fight off sickness and disease, boost our immune system, and even help us live longer. Oh my God, why would you not be optimistic? Don't you want to live longer? Walking around with a negative attitude and a negative mindset, it is literally killing you faster every single day. Such a great lesson. Let's talk about helplessness is power. I want to give you 7 dependencies of a victim mindset. This is what you don't want to have in your life. 7 dependencies of a victim mindset. Here's the first one. Attention. Gets more attention from others who want to help. People love that victim mindset because they say helplessness is my power. People will pay more attention to me when I ask for help. Watch this. No risk. They don't have to take the risk of being rejected. If I just stay in my comfort zone, I don't have to worry about anybody rejecting me. So I'll stick with the victim mindset. Kind treatment. They're treated kindly because of their suffering. Look at me. Can you help me? Things are not working out in my life. And so they use the victim mindset as their power. Entitlement. They feel entitled to sympathy and kindness. Will you have sympathy for me? Look at my situation. Look at me. I'm struggling. I can't make ends meet. Can you help me? They look for self-pity. Enjoys feeling self-pity and sorry for themselves. They walk around with a victim mindset. She did it to me. He's not right. Think about a person like Oprah who was abused and molested and came back from that and became one of the richest and most influential women in the world. She did not use these issues right here as helplessness, but she turned the page in her life. How about this? No accountability. Don't have to be accountable for their decisions. If I'm a victim, it's not my fault for the decisions I make today. They continue to walk in a victim mindset. No responsibility. They don't have to take responsibility for their lives. She did it to me. He did it to me. I'm this way because my parents didn't help me. I didn't have the right background. No responsibility. Those are the dependencies of helplessness. Now let's talk about emotional home. I want to ask you a question today, my friend. What emotional home do you live in? Where, I'm not talking about your physical address. You might be in a different state. I'm asking you, where do you spend your emotional time? Is your emotional home anger? Is it frustration? Are you always frustrated about something? Is your emotional home fear? I'm always worried. What's going to happen? Is your emotional home disappointment? Is your emotional home sadness? I'm always sad. Somebody help. Is your emotional home a victim mindset? Like we talked about the 7 dependencies of a victim mindset. Are you always playing the victim in your life? Is that where your emotional home is? Or do you live in the emotional home of joy? Do you bring joy to your work, joy to your life? Do you live in the home of peace? Do you wake up and you have a sense of peace? Do you have a sense of calmness in your life? Is your emotional home calmness? Are you always calm no matter what's happening externally? It's not affecting your serenity internally. Where do you live emotionally? Is your emotional home self-control? Are you out of control? I eat whatever I want. I do whatever I want. I live a life undisciplined. Is self-control your emotional home? How How about confidence? Do you live in the emotional home of confidence? I want you to look at that picture, my friend. If I was to walk up to your door, what would be the address of your emotional home? This makes a difference in how resilient you become, because if you're living in the wrong emotional home, you will never develop the skill and the craft and the art of resilience. So powerful. Do you live in the emotional home of passion? Are you full of passion, full of life, full of vitality every day? It is so important. The importance of resilience. Why is it important, Adam? In times of crisis, challenge, and change, resilience becomes more important than ever. More than education, don't miss this, more than experience, more than training. A person's level of resilience will determine if they succeed or fail. This is in the cancer ward, the Olympics, and it's true in organizations. I don't care whether you are in cancer ward and you're at the edge of death. You have to be resilient and be willing and have the energy and the focus and the ability to bounce back from sickness and disease. Same way we're facing the COVID. It doesn't matter if you're an Olympian. Look at the guy on the slide who's running. They call him the Blade Runner, who's running on blades. He doesn't even have legs, but he is resilient. He practices, he trains to win in those Special Olympics. And it doesn't matter if you're in an organization right now as an employee, as a leader, as a manager, you have to develop this skill of resilience. It is more important in your education, more important in your experience, more important in your training. You have to become a resilient person. So powerful. Let me give you the triad of resilience. There are 3 ways to cultivate resilience. All right? The first one is to see things as they are. This is the first triad. There are 3 areas this will help you to cultivate resilience as a person. Number 1, see things as they are. And what does that mean, Adam? Don't slip into denial to cope with hardship. You have to take a sober, down-to-earth view. You have to prepare yourself to act in ways that enable you to endure. That's the key. Train yourself to survive before the fact. So the first area you got to look at is see things as they are. It is the ability to take a down-to-earth, realistic view and approach to what's going on. See the crisis as it is. Don't see it worse than it is, even before you see it better than it is, which is the goal. But first, see things as they are. Be realistic. Take a real approach to this, and then train yourself to survive when crisis comes along. The second area of the triad is find meaning. Number 2. This means resist the impulse to view yourself as a victim. So powerful. You have to derive meaning in this area of the triad. You have to build a mental bridge from present to a better future. So you've got to go in your mind and cross over a bridge to a better future, that I'm not going to always be in crisis. I'm not always going to be in a struggle. I'm not always going to be in tough times. I've got to see a bridge in my mind that's going to take me to a better horizon, a better future. That's how we find it, the meaning in a crisis. What does this mean? Again, we have to assign meaning and keep this in mind. Meaning affects feeling. So whatever meaning you assign is going to affect your emotions and how you feel. The third area is to continually improvise. So important. That means when crisis strike, be inventive. You have to create a solution where there is not one. Make the most of what you have. Don't expect to be given more resources. You don't need more resources, my friend. You need to become more resourceful. That's the key. And that's what we mean by continually improvise. Put resources to unfamiliar uses and imagine possibilities that others don't see. There's some possibilities. There are some patterns. There are some trends. There are some things going on right now in your work and in your career and your life that others might be skipping over. They're missing. They're worrying out. They're stressed. They're living in fear. But you have to be sound. You have to continually improvise in this time and season and see possibilities that others will miss. Now, let me tell you about a guy by the name of Jim Carrey. His father lost his job and the family hit rough times. They moved into a Volkswagen van on a relative's lawn. Can you imagine you with your family, your parents, and you're living inside of a van on your relative's lawn? This is what Jim Carrey, how his life started out. At age 10, he took an 8-hour factory job after school to help make ends meet. Now think of this. He's a kid in school and he's working 8 hours. I don't know how he did that. He worked 8 hours at a factory job after school to try to help his father, who had lost his job, and the family living in a van. What a tough way to go. At age 15, he performed his comedy on stage in his suit. his mom had made for him. He bombed the comedy show, but he never quit. So think about this. Think of this jacket I'm wearing. His mom had made him a suit. He couldn't even afford to go and buy himself a suit. He wore a suit that his mom made him, and his comedy was just horrible. He failed at it miserably. At age 16, he quit school, moved to LA, and he parked on Mulholland Drive every night and visualized. It's so powerful. He visualized his success. So here he is now in Los Angeles, still going after his dream of becoming an actor, and he began to visualize what he wanted out of life. One of these nights, he wrote a check to himself, so powerful, for $10 million for acting services rendered, which dated Thanksgiving 1995. So here he's sitting on Mulholland Drive, visualizing his success. He was still broke, still poor, still sleeping in his car. But here he was, he wrote a check to himself for $10 million that said acting services rendered and tucked it away in his wallet. Thanksgiving 1995. Just before that date, he hit his payday, landing his role in Dumb and Dumber. I don't know if you've seen that movie, but if you go check it out, it's a pretty funny movie. One of my favorites, Dumb and Dumber. Watch this. He put the deteriorated check, which he kept in his wallet the whole time, in his father's casket. Oh my God, such a powerful lesson here. You know, he became resilient. He overcame obstacles and he kept moving forward. Now let's talk about the nature of resilience, and it relates to values. The most successful organizations and people possess strong value systems. Please don't miss this. Strong values infuse an environment with meaning because they offer ways to interpret and shape events. You have to rely on your values when you face tough times because it allows you to shape the meaning of. Remember we talked about having that pillar of finding meaning? Well, values is what gives you the lens. It helps you to shape and form the meaning that needs to be acquired. Not a negative, but a positive meaning out of what's going on. Value systems at resilient companies change very little over the years and are used as scaffolding in times of trouble. So think about it. A company holds on to their values. A person holds on to their values. And even when times are lean, even when times are tough, even when crisis hit, even when COVID-19 hit, even when racial injustice hit, they hold on to their values. And those values become the foundation. They become the scaffolding which allows them to continue to build and grow. Do you have their values, your friend? Don't compromise your values. Resilience is a way of facing and understanding the world that is deeply etched in the mind and soul of a resilient person. Don't miss that. Resilient people and companies face reality with staunchness, make meaning of hardship instead of crying out in despair, and improvise solutions from thin air. Didn't we talk about don't miss that? You sometimes have to, that solution may not be in your company. It may not be with your leader. It may not be in your home. It may not be in your department. It's up to you to create that solution out of thin air. That is resilience, my friend. Others do not. This is the nature of resilience. So let me ask you a question. What are your values? What is it that you value? What do you believe? What is your beliefs in this time? And have you compromised your beliefs? What do you stand for? You know, if you don't stand up for something, you'll fall for anything. What is it that you stand up for? Are you for sale? Could someone offer you something and you would be willing to compromise your values? You would be willing to compromise what you believe in. So many people are doing it. Are you for sale? Resilient people don't change their values or beliefs regardless of environment, circumstances, or other people's opinion. They don't sell out their values. Today, my friend, if you want to develop resilience, don't sell out what you believe in. Don't sell yourself out. Don't sell out your values. Stick to what you believe in because it is the scaffolding that's going to carry you through this time and season. Let's talk about 3 key facts. There are 3 important key facts I want you to get about resilience. All right. Here's number 1. It relates to thinking. Your thinking and subsequent behavior or habits create either bridges or barriers to a better future. Let me say that again. So powerful. This relates to thinking. OK, it's the first fact about resilience. Your thinking and subsequent behavioral habits create either bridges or barriers to a better future. So what are you building, my friend, with your level of thinking? Is your thinking creating barriers that won't allow you to move past this time and season? Or are you building bridges that will carry you across in your mind? Remember, we said you have to build the bridge in the mind. So thinking is a very critical key component of resilience. Here's number 2, potential. One of my favorite. The struggle to bounce back and recover from setbacks can lead to the development of potential you didn't know you had. Oh my goodness. I know this is helping you today. You have potential, my friend, inside of you that you don't even know that you have. You haven't tapped it yet. So what crisis does is place a demand on your potential. Change places a demand on your potential. A resilient person takes that demand and converts it into power in their life, and they're able to create more potential. They're able to tap more inner potential. So my friend, to be resilient, you've got to tap more of your inner potential. Here's the third one, development. Resilience can be learned and developed. This is good news for those saying, I'm not resilient. I may quit. I don't want to go any further. Listen, you can learn and develop the characteristics, the trait, and the ability to become a resilient person. Good news for you. All right, let's talk about the sources of resilience. There are 5 domains. All right, here are the sources, 5 domains of life that builds resilience in people. There are 5 areas you want to concentrate on that will allow you to build resilience. Here's the first one, happiness. You know, if you're not happy, you're not going to be resilient. Are you happy in your life? Are you happy in your relationships? Are you happy in your career? It's so important. The next one is energy and vitality. How can you be resilient when you're running out of energy? You're running out of steam. You don't have vitality in your life. You have to develop in the area of energy and vitality in order to become resilient. The third domain is self-esteem. A lot of people don't think about this. You can't have a low self-esteem and yet be resilient, because the moment trial comes, the moment crisis comes, you're going to quit. You're going to give up because you already feel you're not worthy. You're not qualified. Listen, you got to get new perspective of yourself. You are important. You valued. You matter, right? So you have to develop that self-esteem. Here's the next one, a sense of purpose and meaning. You have to know the purpose for your life. You have to know your inner gifts, your talent, your ability. This is an area, if you work on and strengthen a domain of life, you'll become a resilient person. And finally, a positive mindset. It has to do with everything. Your mind is what controls your view and your outlook, your outcome, your results, everything. So positive mind. So again, these are the 5 domains of life that builds resilience in people. Now, let me give you resilience lessons about basketball. There's some basketball can teach us about resilience. Look at those guys. Watch this. Resilience is the ability to rebound from crisis, challenge, and changes that happen in our lives. In the game of basketball, a rebound is the ability to rebound from missed shots. Watch this. Or to claim possession of a ball from the opposing team. Here are the resilience lessons we can learn from the game of basketball. Oh, man. Number 1, a rebound is a second chance to make the shot that was missed. My friend, you might have missed shots during this crisis. You may have missed shots in the past, but a rebound, resilience, a rebound will allow you to put up another shot. And the one that you missed, you can now score. Don't miss this lesson about basketball and resilience. Here's lesson number 2, an opportunity to fix what went wrong with the shot. When you take a rebound, you say, you know what, I messed up. Maybe I didn't have the right angle. I didn't elevate high enough, or my arch wasn't right. So now with the rebound, I got a chance to reset myself and do something greater. I can make the shot this time. That's what you have to do to become resilient. Lesson 3, the shot could be the one that you take or the one that your team member takes. So the beauty of rebounding is sometimes you can recover shots that your team member missed, that your coworker missed, that your family member missed. When you're a great rebounder, listen, when you can bounce back from problems, you can help save a shot that someone in your life has missed. Here's lesson 4, rebounds win games. If you know anything about basketball, if a team is a poor rebounding team, they generally lose. And you have to be able to rebound effectively on offense and defense. So rebounding is what will win the game of life for you, my friend. Lesson 5, you must be in the right position and have the right timing in order to rebound. My friend, you got to be in the right position and have it at the right time at the right place. So when that ball of life comes to you, you're able to put that ball back up and make the winning shot. So powerful. Number 6, I said 5, I got a bonus lesson for you. You must box out other opponents. You know, when it comes to rebounding, you can't let somebody get in front of you. If they jump before you, they got that ball. You've got to box out people in your life that are trying to stop you. Box out the people that are against you. Box out the people that are getting in your way. And you got to get that rebound so you can put up another shot. So powerful. I cannot always control what goes on outside, but I can always control what goes on inside. Wayne Dyer, author, said that. So the key, if you've been following me, if you've watched videos, you often hear me say this statement. Don't let external problems and external influence affect your internal resolve. So let me say that again. Don't let external problems and influence affect your internal resolve. It's the same that Wayne Dyer has said. I cannot always control what happens. I can't control what's happening with COVID. I can't control what's happening with racial injustice. I can't control when challenges come. I can't control when my job is going through changes. I can't control all that's going on the outside. But I can always control what happens on the inside. Such a powerful quote. Here's another one. Whether you prevail or fail, endure or die, depends more on what you do to yourself than on what the world does to you. So powerful. Jim Collins, author of Good to Great, said that. So that's whether you fail or prevail, endure or die, depends on not what others do to you, my friend. It is what you do to yourself. It is the words that you say to yourself and against yourself. It's putting yourself down. It's making yourself feel less, not having a strong confidence and a strong self-esteem. So I want you to get the message from Jim Collins today in this quote. And finally, this quote. Your thoughts and words create your reality. Your mind listens to your mouth. And I couldn't refuse. I had to put my own quote in there. Adam White, author, speaker, and human potential expert. So think about this. Your mind is listening to your mouth. So the words that you say, the language you use has an effect on how resilient you can be. If you're tearing yourself down, if you're putting yourself down, you're not going to be able to resilient and be able to bounce back. And that's what we're talking about in this session, bouncing back. Now, I want to give you some resilience affirmations. I think these are so powerful, they will really help you during this time. And I want you're going to get a copy of this slide. It should be in this course or it'll be given to you at some point. Make sure you print this out, put it on your desk, put it on your mirror. And I want you to say these things to yourself during this time of crisis and change right now. The first one says, I am not a quitter. Man, that is so powerful. It doesn't matter what comes against me. It doesn't matter what challenges I have to face. It doesn't matter what someone has said about me. It doesn't matter who doesn't believe in me. I refuse to quit. I am not a quitter. Man, it's so powerful. Here's the next one. I have willpower. You have the willpower. You have the power is in your hands. It's not in someone else's hands. It's not up to your company. It's not up to your friend. It's not up to your coworker. You have willpower, but you have to make a decision to use it. So powerful. Here's the next one. I believe in myself. I believe in my abilities. I believe in my talent. I believe in my gift. I believe in what I was created to do and to become. I believe in myself. I don't care who doesn't believe. I don't care if my family is talking about me. I don't care if my boss doesn't believe. I believe in myself. So powerful. Here's the next one. I may bend, but I will not break. Man, if you haven't got a copy of my book, I encourage you to get it. Cracked but not broken. You're gonna have cracks in life. You're gonna come across things that will try to break you, but you have to be flexible like a tree. Have you ever seen a tree blowing in the wind? It might bend, but it does not break. That is you, my friend. And you have to say this. I want you to say it with me right now. I may bend, but I won't break. Man, that is powerful. Here's the next one. You haven't seen the last of me. I love it. Listen, I'm bouncing back. I'm making a comeback. You thought I was done. You thought I was done. I wrote my last book. You wrote me off in life, but you haven't seen the last of me, my friend. I'm coming back. I'm bouncing back from this. COVID is not going to take me out. Racial injustice will not take me out. My job changes won't take me out. I am coming back. You've not seen the last of me yet. Man, that's powerful. Here's the next one. I was born to win and not lose. Oh my God. I could just teach from this library. I don't even have to move any further. Don't get me started on motivation because this is what enrages me. It impassions me. It fills me with fire. All right. So I want you to say these with me. I am not a quitter. I have willpower. I believe in myself. I may bend, but I will not break. You haven't seen the last of me. I was born to win and not to lose. Oh my God. If you just take this one slide, my friend, it will give you the right mental focus every single day. How can you lose when you say this to yourself every day. Let's move on. Let me give you 3 defining characteristics of resilient people. 3 defining characteristics. Number 1, they accept reality. Number 2, they improvise. Number 2, they find meaning. Now, if you saw this, it may be in another slide. It's because I'm reteaching this within this slide. I wanted to share this again because it's so important. So please receive it again a second time if you have not already seen it. So between accepting reality, it means that I accept instead of deny. Number 2, I make do with what is there. I leave the script and I have to create and improvise ideas and solutions and come up with what needs to work to get me through this time and season. The next area is to solve, create ideas and innovate. It's where I come up with improvise, mean I come up with new ideas. I come up with solutions that maybe didn't exist before, but I have to include them. And the third is I have to innovate. I got to come up with an idea. I got to come up with a strategy, a way to get me through this time and this season. Maybe I was doing it this way, but now I've got to start doing things a different way. And finally, meaning and purpose emerges. When you're faced with a problem, when you're faced with the challenge of having to improvise and do things away from the script, listen, it will cause your meaning and your purpose will emerge from you meaning. Let's talk about 3 areas of life to build resilience. There's 3 areas of life that we really need to build resiliency in. The first one is in our psychology. The next one is in our physiology. And finally, the third area is in our spirituality. Let's look at these. In our psychology, it has to do with our mindset. If you cannot be a resilient person if you don't have the right mindset. Next is our focus. We are so distracted by everything going on. We're distracted by news and social media. We have to turn those things off and regain our focus. We have to take our life back, take our focus back. So important. The next one is how you think, right? Here's the next one. When we get into physiology, we're talking about energy and vitality. You need energy and vitality. My friend, you need strength and endurance. You can't be resilient and bounce back if you don't develop your strength and your endurance. The next area is health and healthy eating. You got to take care of your body. You have to eat right, eat the right foods that give you protein and nourishment and fiber. You've got to exercise at least 3 times a week. Get out there and walk and run and whatever it takes in order for you to develop energy, vitality, strength, and endurance, and also your health, be in great health and have healthy eating. In spirituality, we have to become one with ourselves and one with our Creator. You know, the word righteousness, it sounds like a religious term, but it's actually a relationship term. And righteousness just means right standing. I'm in right standing with my Creator. I'm in right alignment with myself and my Creator, and everything's in perfect harmony and alignment. That gives you the ability to bounce back from crisis. Also, prayer and mindfulness, whichever works for you. Some people just need to close their eyes for a few moments and let go of the chaos, let go of the stress and the frustration, and focus and mindful. Other people, they feel better when they're able to pray and talk to their Creator and say, I need help, or I'm thankful for today. It's so important. Whatever works for you, that's what you want to use. Life is meaning. In spirituality is also where you discover your purpose and your meaning. It's so important. And finally, the sense of purpose emerges from the spirituality. So these are 3 areas that will help you to build. If you develop these areas, your psychology, your physiology, and your spirituality. Such a powerful slide. Now let's talk about the power of positive thinking. So positive thinking generates some positive results. It's no longer just feel good and fluff. When I gave you those affirmations earlier, now you'll understand they have meaning. They shift something. They help you in some way. Let's find out how. Here's the first one. Dis-ease is diminished. Disease means there is a dis-ease in my life. There's something making me uncomfortable. Rates of infection, disease, poor health, and earlier mortality rates diminish as a result of positive thinking and mindset. Didn't know that, did you? See, science has proven it out now. My positive thinking is not just something to have. It will actually help you with health. The second thing is persistence. The ability to develop persistence emerges and is born to complete goals in the face of obstacles. So what happens is positive thinking allows you to develop more persistence. The third one is mental health. Oh my God, we need this more than ever. Mental health and emotional health is enhanced and improved through positive thinking. It's time to shift to a positive mindset. Finally, physical health. Physical health and longevity improves as a result of positive thinking. So powerful. Let me tell you about this guy, Michael Jordan. You know him. You've heard of him, right? He was cut from his own high school basketball team. Look at that picture. Has so much emotion. He had won a championship. I believe it was his first, and he broke down in tears. Came home crying when he was cut from his team, but resilience helped him to use the summer to get better and make the team the next season. He has missed more than 9,000 shots in his career. He lost almost 300 games. On 26 occasions, he was trusted to take the game-winning shot, and he missed. And here's what Michael said: I have failed over and over and over again in my life, and that, my friend, is why I succeed. Oh my God, such a powerful statement. Are you resilient? Can you miss 300 shots or 9,000 shots in your game of life? Can you lose 300 games? Can you be entrusted with something on your job or something in your family and maybe you failed at it? That does not mean you are a failure. You have to bounce back like Michael Jordan and become successful. So powerful. Let's talk about 9 ways to develop the bounce back mindset. That's what you need today. Let me give you 9 ways. Here's the first one. Find new, more positive friends. You got to change your circle, your sphere of influence. You got people around you may be toxic, maybe negative. It's time to find some new friends. Number 2, change your environment. Toxic places now and people and things. So sometimes you need to shift it up. You need to be in a new environment where you get away from the toxicity and the things that are causing you to feel horrible inside, where you can't bounce back from struggle. Number 3, don't allow someone's opinion to define you. Oh man, this is so powerful. So if you want to bounce back from crisis, if you want to become more resilient, you got to stop listening to the opinion of other people's. No one can define you but your creator. Don't let other people's opinion define you. Here's number 4, be present. Don't dwell on the past. Man, I cannot teach this enough. So many people, what stops them from bouncing back and even moving forward in life is they keep rehearsing the past. They keep telling the same stories of hurt and depression and frustration and stress, and they never move past it. You've got to turn that page. You got to write a new chapter in your life. Don't dwell on the past. Here's number 5. Set yourself free from negative message and mental brainwashing. That's what's happening. A lot of us have been brainwashed by the message we have received from a child. Maybe our parents told us we weren't good enough. A teacher said we're not that smart. An organization said we don't belong here. A relationship, a person said they don't love us. We are still playing those old messages. We're brainwashed into believing that way. It's time to change the mindset. Number 6, we have to invest in our most valuable asset, and that's you, my friend. You are your most valuable asset. Invest in yourself, develop yourself, train yourself. Here's the next one. Accept responsibility for your life and your results. You are responsible for the outcome. I want you to say that with me right now. I am responsible for the outcome in my life. Here's number 8. You have to refrain from making excuses and blaming others. Man, how often do we fall into that blame game? We blame others. You're the reason why I'm here. Don't stop blaming others. You're responsible for the outcome. No more excuses, only results. And here's number 9. We have to be confident in ourselves and in our abilities. Confidence is the bridge. You cross over from failure to success. You go from a problem to bouncing back by crossing that bridge called confidence. You have to believe in yourself and in your abilities. Let me tell you about this guy, Tyler Perry. Physically and sexually abused growing up. Unbelievable. He got kicked out of school. He tried to commit suicide twice. Once as a preteen and again at the age of 22. So he didn't just try once. He tried to take his own life 2 times. In 1992, he wrote and produced his first theater production that failed miserably. Only 30 people showed up. He kept producing. He worked odd jobs and even slept in his car to get by. 6 years after his first play, he finally broke through. Today, he is an extremely successful director, writer, actor, and was named by Forbes' highest paid man in entertainment. He owns his own movie studio in Atlanta. That is resilience, my friend. He bounced back. Now, this one's going to blow you away. Let me tell you about Bethany Hamilton. Can you see in the picture? I want you to look closely. Do you notice she have an arm on the left, but no arm on the right? Watch this. Hamilton started surfing when she was just a child. At age 13, an almost deadly shark attack resulted in her losing her arm. She was back on her surfboard 1 month later. Are you hearing me in this right now? 1 month later, with only one arm left, after being attacked by a shark, she got back on her surfboard and got back out there again. In the next 2 years, she won first place in the Explorers Women's Division of the NSSA National Championship. First place. Talk about resilience. Man, if she can make it with one arm, what about you? You know, maybe life has only given you one arm to operate. Maybe you have less resources. You didn't graduate from the right school. You didn't come from the right family. You don't have the right opportunities. Don't let that stop you. Bouncing back means you can take one arm and still win, still be successful. You excuse me, I get excited when I talk about resilience. My friend, you have to become resilient. Don't let one arm, one mistake, one failure, one attack stop you from being successful. That is the essence of resilience. It means I have the ability to bounce back. Man, so powerful. Now, let me define for you resilience. I created a beautiful outline for resilience that each letter says something important to you. And I want to share with you. These are my 10 rules for resilience, 10 resilience principles to live by. Here's the first one, R. It means remember to be grateful. Your home, again, is the dream of a homeless person. Your life is the dream of someone else. Be grateful. Always be grateful for what you have. E, it means to express yourself. Express how you feel. Sharing how you feel allows you to release the hurt. It allows you to release the pain. Don't be afraid to ask for help. It's okay. It doesn't make you weak because you ask for help. It makes you more resilient. So don't forget to express yourself. S means self-worth. Know your personal worth. No human can define your worth. Means to estimate the value of. Place the right estimate on yourself. My friend, you are valuable. You have worth. Don't let anyone underestimate how much you're really worth. So S means self-worth. Don't forget it. I means internally directed. Be internally directed, not externally affected. Self-management leads to confidence and great results. The next one, L means love. Someone loves you, my friend. Make sure you love them back. Be kind, thoughtful, caring, and considerate. The next one is imagination and creativity. Don't stop dreaming. Don't lose your creative ability. Think outside of the box. My friend, you are filled with ideas. E means to enjoy life. Don't forget to smile. Do things that make you happy. Avoid pessimistic and negative people. N means never put yourself down. Don't say what you can't do. Always say positive things about yourself and believe in yourself. C means clarity. Know what you want. Know the direction you're headed in life. Set goals and be clear about your life outcome. Man, so powerful. You'll get a copy of this. Feel free to share it as well. Finally, E means excellence. Always strive to give your best. Don't just be average. You have greatness inside of you. My friend, this has been a powerful session. Let's focus on these questions. Do you have the right mindset, perspective, and attitude towards change, challenge, and crisis? Use reflective thinking to think about the recent thoughts you have had about crisis, challenge, and change in your life. Have they been positive or have they been negative? How will you bounce back from this current crisis we are facing? Working from home, racial tension, COVID-19, trying to take care of our families, our customers, and ourselves, and so many other challenges. How will you, my friend, from the lessons you learned today, how will you bounce back? I want to talk to you about it. I want to hear from you. How will you bounce back? These are the lessons that we want to talk about. My friend, you have been in this session, the power of resilience, your ability to bounce back. Listen, no problem, no trial, no circumstance, no thing in life can cause you to fail completely. You have the ability to bounce back just like Michael Jordan. You can do it again and again. And I'm your coach. I'm right here to help you bounce back. So let's bounce back. I'll see you next time.
Wow, man, oh man, I don't know how you guys feel, but that's why I watch my own videos. It is pure power, and I hope that has been an inspiration. I'm going to stop sharing and give the screen back. And so now we can either talk about those questions. If you have questions, you can put them in the chat. I'll be glad to chat with you and respond, or I'll hand it back to Renee. She's in charge. I don't know if they want to get right into the last remarks and prizes. So I'll be silent and you guys tell me where you want to go from here. I hope that this has been a blessing to you. You have received the impartation of power and wisdom from this session. Again, I'll be sending a copy over to Renee so you can get this slide deck. Thank you.
Great job, Adam. Thank you as always. I'll turn it back over to Anthony. We can entertain a couple of questions from the chat, and then you can take it away.
Wow. Adam, hey, what a message. What a message, man. Look, I'm challenged. I'm inspired. I took some notes. Look, I don't know about you all, but I'm leaving this conference with some marching orders. Straight up, plain and simple. I've got some marching orders. Adam, thank you so much for that timely and powerful message. Thank you. Thank you. I want to take about maybe 10 seconds just to see if anyone wants to put anything in the chat, if there are any questions, anything. You're getting a lot of love, of course, in the chat. Thanks for lighting my fire. Great presentation, totally inspired. I'm ready to go. Hey, y'all, as I told you from the jump, I told you this was going to be like that 3 LeBron hit last night. And I say that as a LeBron and Steph fan. So I'm not biased, but I thought that was, I felt like that was what we were going to get. And honestly, we got more than that. So yeah, awesome job. All right, good deal. All right, so it looks like there are no questions, just a lot of love, which as a fellow speaker, I would take that. Me too. So I'm sure you're good with that. God bless you, and thank you so much again for sharing with us. And yeah, you're right, Tina. This was an outstanding presentation, appropriate for the time. So totally agree. All right, so what we're gonna do now, you all, before we do our special recognitions and give out our final awards for the conference, let's take a second. We want to hear a word from another one of our sponsors who has helped to bring this virtual conference to life, and that is Ma'at Latham of A&E Office Machines. Ms. Latham, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. On behalf of our president, Adam, I know Adam is a common name today, but our president's name is Adam as well. But on behalf of our president, Adam, myself, the vice president of professional development at AE Touch, and our entire team, I would like to express our sincere appreciation for the stakeholders of CAAA. Your dedication and TLC that you invest throughout your community does not go unnoticed, which is why we are more than honored to be a sponsor of this year's conference. A common theme I've heard throughout this conference was take care of yourself. I know that some of you are thinking that's not easy when you care so much about the communities and the families that you serve. But I ask that you find one thing that helps you restore yourself and give back to yourself. Just one thing, even if it's yoga, spending a little extra time with your family, and you wear that commitment to yourself with pride. And once again, I would like to tell all of you guys how proud I am of all of the work that you do and how much I am happy, and how much I value all of you. We look forward to further collaboration with CAA throughout the year, and I wish all of you guys the best. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Adam Krappel, founder and president of A&E Office Machines, Inc. We provide customers like Head Start with innovative office machine products, including our very own AE Touch interactive whiteboards and accessories. A&E has a long-standing partnership with the Region 4 Head Start Association, and we are proud to be a platinum corporate sponsor as well as a top-tier sponsor for this year's awards and scholarship recognition ceremony. We support the mission of the association as well as the valuable work being conducted each day on the front line by the thousands of Head Start and Early Head Start staff across this region. I was one of 6 siblings raised by a single mom in government housing. Although I am not a product of Head Start, passionate teachers inspired my siblings and I to learn, dream, and believe anything is possible with hard work. There is a Tibetan proverb that says, "A child without education is like a bird without wings." A solid education from nurturing teachers enabled my siblings and I to break the cycle of poverty and gave me wings to soar to greater heights as an entrepreneur when I founded A&E Office Machines more than 40 years ago. A&E is proud to have a product that helps the teachers engage their students. Hearing stories of how the A&E Interactive Touch has improved the classroom experience has been the most rewarding part of my business career. I was able to witness a dyslexic middle school student write his name for the first time. This is one of the many stories that are humbling and inspiring. Stories like this motivate my team and myself to make our products better. A&E extends its congratulations to all of today's recipients, and a special thank you to our Region 4 family for the work you do each day that changes the lives of so many.
Awesome, awesome. Ms. Latham, as well as A&E, thank you all so much for your continued support. Thank you for your remarks, and just again the continued support of the Community Action Association of Alabama. It's greatly appreciated.
Thank you all for what you do. And we'll see you guys next year.
Sounds like a plan. Thank you.
All right.
Okay, everybody. So we've got a couple special recognitions that we have absolutely got to do. So to lead us in that, let me invite up for the last time for this 2021 conference, our board chair, Mr. Benjamin Jones.
There we go. All right, once again, good afternoon. We've had a great day, and I'm coming, as Mr. Sparks has said, for the final time to say a word of congratulations and to give a tribute to our fellow retiring executive directors, those who have served as commanders in the war on poverty for a long period of time. Ms. Tammy McDaniels from the Community Action of Northwest Alabama. After many years being there, her retirement was official on March 30th. And we salute Tammy and thank her for all the work that she's done in the network. And we certainly will miss her, but we know that she needs some time now to rest and spend time with her family. So we congratulate her on her retirement. And secondly is Mr. David Boware, Chamber Tallapoosa Coosa Community Action Committee. I think David has been serving in the war for over 40 years, and his retirement becomes official on June 30th. And so we congratulate David, and we certainly thank him as well for the work that he's done in this war on poverty. And for both of them, we certainly know that they deserve some quiet time and some rest, some time of reflection. But even in retirement, we know that they won't stop doing what they've been doing all along, and that is helping people and changing lives. So we certainly appreciate it. I think that David is available with us today and may have some words to say. I know that Tammy was not able to be here, but we certainly thank them both, and we will be doing some things for them when the time is appropriate. And Mr. Chris Rowe may speak to that as well, but the association will do something when we can meet them in person. So that's all I have for that. And if I think that David is going to come, But I'll turn it back to Mr. Sparks, and then he can bring David on, or because you all have it situated a little bit better than what I know. So let me just turn it back over to him. But thanks again.
Awesome. And yeah, Mr. Jones, you're correct. David, we do want to welcome David Boulware to the screen to make any remarks as he gets ready to ride off into the sunset and enjoy this time. Mr. Boulware, when you're ready.
But first of all, thank you to each and every one of you. I want to thank Chris and Renee for putting on such a great workshop. And Anthony, you've been an excellent facilitator, one of the best I've ever heard, but you've been a great job. I also like to thank the presenters, because this has been one of the best conferences I've attended, even though it was virtual. And I thank Mr. Adam White for his words. But I want to just say this is, I started working at Community Action as a teacher's aide and a van driver back in 1974 for the Child Development Program. When I first started out, I thought I was just going in for a summer job. That's been 47 years ago. During that time, I had been blessed to work with a great number of excellent employees, board of directors, and policy council members. So with that, I would just like to say thank you to each and every one, in particular to the customers that we've served. It's kind of funny, Anthony. I've seen the children, the grandchildren, and I think I'm seeing some great grandchildren. So I know it's time for me to go, but I've enjoyed every moment of it. I haven't regretted one single moment. I've had some ups and downs, but anyone who's been in community action or Head Start knows that this job is like a roller coaster. You're going to have some good days, some bad days. You're going to go up and down, but through it all, the Lord has blessed us to see people's lives change, and that's what's important. So again, thank you to everyone that's been a part of this, and thanks again for a great session.
Awesome. Look, let me just say, in her absence, to Ms. McDaniel, as well as to Mr. Boulware, again, congratulations and thank you for your service. And by all means, and I mean this with the most sincerity I can muster, I hope and pray that you enjoy this next phase with the same vigor and with the same passion and with the same intensity that you enjoyed this phase, because for 47 years, you have given of yourself. And so, look, at this point, you deserve to do exactly what it is you want to do, sir. So please, you, as well as Ms. McDaniel in her absence, please enjoy this next phase and know that your service, your labor, and your work has not been in vain. So thank you again. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, everybody. So the train station is in view. If you remember when we started this thing out, it was like a train ride. And so now we're starting to get to our destination. We're putting away our books and we're bringing our seats up and we're gathering up all of our belongings. And before I bring up our executive director for closing remarks, let's go ahead and recognize our final 5 winners of the May 2021 celebration. Now, our first 2 prizes that we're about to give out right now will be our random door prizes that we've been doing each of these past 3 days. Before Sharonda spins, let me just say winners have walked away with gift cards to Amazon, Shell, Exxon, Publix, Outback. The list goes on and on. These final 2 prizes are a $25 gift card to Longhorn Steakhouse and a $25 Visa gift card. So do me a favor, for the last time, y'all, I want you to write in the chat, one of these gotta be mine. Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. One of these gotta be mine. One of these gotta be mine. Put it in the chat. Let's see what you're talking about. I want your passion to jump off the screen. One of these gotta be mine. One of these gotta be mine. Come on. All right. So, Sharonda, let's spin that wheel. Here we go. Here we go. This is for the Longhorn Steakhouse gift card. And it will go to Sue Stone. Sue Stone. Congratulations, Sue Stone, on winning a Longhorn Steakhouse gift card. If you can't use it, just send it my way. We just had one open up down the street and I could use that thing. All right. So, Sue Stone, congratulations on Longhorn. All right. Last one, here we go. Visa gift card, $25. Who will it go to? Ann Jones. Ann Jones. Ann Jones. Congratulations to Ann Jones on winning a $25 Visa gift card. All right, and just remember that that the association will touch base with you. We'll touch base with you on how to get the gifts to you. And look, I hope that each of you have felt the love in these door prizes. All right, I hope you have, because these have been prizes that I would think anybody would love to get. Matter of fact, I've been a little jealous because I could use all of them. All right, and so I hope you all have felt the love and felt the appreciation from the association for the work that you all do. So those are our final door prizes. So now let's get to our final 3 awards for the conference. Now, just so you know, these awards are a little different. And what's different about them is that they have been earned as opposed to given. All right. All the others have been door prizes. These are earned. So the first prize is going to go to the winner, the first place finisher of our leaderboard. Look, it's been a great back and forth battle. It was cool to see so much engagement, but this particular person finished it out stronger, right? This person has been engaging, networking, and interacting within the platform, and to reward them for their engagement, and because it is a virtual technology-driven conference, it just makes sense. They will receive a $100 gift card to Best Buy. So here we go. Our leaderboard winner for the 2021 May celebration is, looks like it is Betty Ann Hardy Palmer. Betty Ann Hardy Palmer is the recipient of a $100 Best Buy gift card because she has been inside the platform engaging. And so, Miss Betty Ann Hardy Palmer, congratulations to you for winning the $100 Best Buy gift card. Congratulations to you. Well deserved, well earned. The second prize is going to the Community Action Agency that had the most board members in attendance at this year's conference. Because look, it's one thing to bring yourself, but it's an entirely different thing when your volunteers show up too. So this agency team will actually receive lunch for the entire team, courtesy of the Community Action Association of Alabama. And we'll figure out how much and from where, so just sit tight. But for right now, the winning agency with 9 board members in attendance and that have earned the free lunch on behalf of the Community Action Association of Alabama is the Montgomery Community Action Agency, led by Mr. Ben Jones. And Mr. Jones, you thought that was your last time speaking, but come on up one more time and make some remarks and accept this on behalf of your agency.
Gosh, on behalf of Montgomery Community Action, we say thank you, and we certainly appreciate our board members engaging and getting involved. So thanks again.
Awesome. Congratulations, sir, to you as well as the Montgomery Community Action Agency and the board for showing up in force. All right, third and final prize is going to the Community Action Agency that had the, let's see, how can we say it, the most attendees, all right, at staff and board at this year's conference, which is, again, no small feat. No small feat. We're talking about staff and volunteer board members. And so these people committed to showing up and to show our appreciation for their efforts. This agency will receive a new 50-inch TV, and they can use it to binge watch episodes of Shameless or Handmaid's Tale or Top Chef or This Is Us or whatever your heart's desire. Okay, maybe I'm just kidding, I think. But seriously, this agency will in fact receive a new 50-inch TV that can be used for a wide range of things, such as meetings, programming, and the occasional lunch break. The winning agency of this award, of this brand new 50-inch TV, is the Organized Community Action Programs, Inc. And I'm sorry to do this and put her on the spot, but let me ask the executive director, Ms. Wanda Moultrie, to come on and say a few words. Ms. Moultrie, come on, step up and claim your prize on behalf of the Organized Community Action Programs.
She may not be present in the session.
So in that case, you know what? We're gonna make it like an Oscar. We're gonna make it like an Oscar. We're not gonna renege. We're gonna make it like an Oscar. On behalf of Ms. Wanda Moultrie and the Organized Community Action Programs, Inc., I accept this award on behalf of them. And I'll be sure that she gets it. All right. That's that, y'all. That's that. Those are our final 3 awards for the day. Congratulations to all of our winners. Again, the association will be reaching out to you to coordinate delivery. I so hope that you all have enjoyed this. And so let me say this, as we just announced those official winners, let me just say that I don't think I'm speaking out of turn when I say that really all of us have been winners over these last 3 days. And I know you're probably rolling your eyes like, oh, here we go with the all of us are winners stuff. But just think about it. Whether we figured out how to find the funny in change, or how to practice better self-care, or how to have difficult conversations without turning into difficult people, or if we peel back the racial disparities when it comes to the social determinants of health, or if we learn how to grow our personal brands, or if we embraced a new model of strategic planning in a pandemic, or if we tapped into the power of resiliency. The fact of the matter is, all of us are walking away better because of this 3-day experience. It has been my absolute pleasure to preside over this year's conference. My hope is that I haven't gotten in the way, and it's my prayer that I'll be back to celebrate with you all once again. Look, thank you so much for the privilege. And now it's my pleasure to bring up our fearless leader, our rudder, our captain, our executive director, Mr. Chris Rowe.
Thank you, Anthony. And hello, everyone. I promise I will not be long. We've had an awesome conference with great content, and most importantly, some much needed networking and connecting with each other. It was absolutely great to see so much virtual interacting taking place throughout the conference. I want to take a minute to give out some thank yous. Also, at this time, please feel free to utilize the chat and type in your own thank yous. If we were in person, individuals would get to hear a round of applause. So instead, share your thank yous and let someone know how awesome they are. On behalf of the association, we just want to say thank you to the board of directors. The association could not function without you. The planning committee, which is chaired by Ms. Wanda Moultrie, the executive director of OCAP. And as we just heard, OCAP had 30 participants. That's amazing. That's called believing in what you have a hand in. OCAP was a major contributor to us reaching over 200 participants for the conference, the largest number of participants we've ever had at our annual conference. Thanks to Renee for putting up with my endless questions, text messages, phone calls, and last-minute requests regarding the conference. I'm sure I added stress and maybe some gray hairs. At one point, Renee said, Ron didn't ask me all these questions. So thank you, Renee. To our partners, sponsors, and presenters, we could not accomplish this without your support. And it means a lot to us that you show up each and every year. To Anthony Sparks, our MC, a phenomenal job. You kept us engaged and carried the conference from the start to the finish line. Thank you. And we can't forget about our conference support folks, the online media interactive team. Thank you for the support and the professionalism you provided to make this virtual conference a success. And lastly, to the participants, the CAA staff and board members, you are the heroes. You're the reason for this conference. This past year has been tough for everyone, including you, us, our network. We have always been asked to step up, fill in, and meet the needs of our community with little to no recognition. But you know what? That's okay, because we exist for that purpose. The work you do is not just a job or career, it's a calling. I'm a believer that what doesn't destroy us only makes us stronger. So I choose to focus on the positives, like enhanced technology and skills we've gained, expanded services, and a greater awareness of us, the CAA network. But if you haven't heard this in a while, thank you. From the bottom of my heart, know that you are appreciated and valued. I'm hopeful this year's conference was beneficial to you. Now, before I close, I'm reminded that we're supposed to add humor to our work. So I have a joke for everyone, so bear with me. A fifth grade teacher put up a map of all 7 continents on her classroom wall and said, Wanda Moultrie, come to the front of the class. Wanda walked up to the front of the class and the teacher said, can you show us where America is? Wanda walked over to the map and points. And the teacher says, that's correct. Then the teacher said, David Bower. David answered and the teacher said, can you tell us who found America? David says, Wanda. All right, that's my humor for the day. If you didn't get it, that's okay. Just call Wanda or David, and I'm sure they will help you. Thank you again, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day and week. And remember, happy Community Action Month. Thank you.
Oh, y'all not ready to go? What we doing? We still talking? We still kicking it? We still fellowshipping? Look, love the energy. But in the words of the great philosopher, Michael Emery Edward Anthony II, I'll holler. Y'all have a good one. Great conference, y'all. See you next time.
You too, Anthony. Bye.
Take care, everyone.